Hey there team, my name's Erika. I'm a master trainer for BOSU, and I'm here to share with you a floor-based workout that you're gonna use or want to do all the time. You'll notice that I have my BOSU balance trainer with me, as well as one of our BOSU fabric resistance bands. This is in the lightweight. If you have a loop band of any kind, have that handy, but here's the secret. If you don't have one handy, it's fine, you don't need it. And then you'll also notice that I'm wearing shoes today, but there's no propulsion, no jumping, no standing on the dome in this workout. So feel free to do what feels good for you, as well as your feet. Whether you want to be in shoes, whether you want to be in bare feet, or maybe some sticky socks. So let's get started. I'm going to ask you to come down onto the floor, and we're going to simply bring our feet up onto the dome of the BOSU balance trainer. You want to have your bottom of your tush relatively close to the base of the BOSU. And the first thing I want you to do is notice where your feet are placed. Try and place them on the outsides of that logo impression on the top of the dome. And let's start just by checking in on your body. I'm gonna cue some breath every now and again because it helps you initiate certain muscles, but just make sure that you're breathing. Take an inhale here. And on that exhale, you're just gonna start to come into some articulated bridging. That just means rolling the spine, lifting it up off the mat, and engaging the backs of the legs, the hamstrings and the gluteals, and then rolling the spine back down. And as you're going through each and every one of these, I just want you to notice kind of what's happening at that level of the spinal column, right? So is your vertebra moving well today? I don't know. Or do you need to kind of give it a little bit more time and some love throughout this workout? Exhaling feels good as you roll up. And also, just so you know, having your feet up higher on the balance trainer is an awesome thing for bridging, because whether you're articulating or whether you're just power bridging, it gives you a little bit more work on the backs of the legs and the glutes as you're doing this. And coming all the way down. Inhaling and exhaling as you feel that spine move and mobilize today. Good. And pause at the top, opening those hips for a moment, and then rolling down and through. Give me 3 more like this. And notice if you're weighting each foot equally, or maybe you're drifting off to one side, right? And if you get some cramps here, that's very, very normal. Try and breathe through them. Do what feels good for you and your body. That's what it's about. Inhale here. And last one here, team, and I'm gonna have you stay lifted in this bridge position. So when you come up, I want you to hold. Then just drop one hip by releasing this glute, and then re-engage it, bring it back up. So just a few hip dips here. Starting to add a little bit of rotation from the trunk, right? Our core, if you will. Our core is involved in nearly everything that we do. Maybe not when we're sleeping, but nearly everything else in life. We need to have good, strong, and supple mobile cores to respond to life. And lift back up. Give me 4 more, if you will. And press, and 3. Great way to get a little bit of almost unilateral work on the back of the legs here. And last one here. And lift, and then lower all the way back down. Now I want you to take one foot. Move it to the center of the dome, right on top of that logo impression. If you can, cross that other leg over the top of the knee. If this does not work for you in this figure 4 position, just keep doing what you were doing. And now I want you to power bridge up through that foot. So drive through that heel and lift the pelvis, and then lower straight back down. So you're really getting a little bit of dynamic flexibility through this glute, and also unilateral work on the back of that one hip and that glute that's firing as you lift your pelvis up off that floor. You can see I'm going pretty high here. If that doesn't work for you, that's fine. You don't need to go as high as I am going. For 3 more. Little bit of strength and power for the back of that leg without doing a squat or a lunge. Last one, and lower down. Let's take it over to the other side. So uncross, recross, and again, from side to side, you're gonna feel totally different. And let's get that foot near or on the top of the logo impression of the dome and push through that heel. I want you to feel like you're trying to push the floor away. as you press down into that foot, not forward, right? And also think about which side might be firing more than the other, right? I can definitely tell this is my stronger side. And 4 more. Good, and 3. You're doing great. Last 2 times, and up, and lower, and last one here, and lower back down. Great job. Uncross that leg. Now bring yourself up to sitting, and I'm gonna have us move the dome so that we're a little bit more centered on our mat. And we're going to move into a seated position. So when we're training, actually, pretty much everything, we're gonna train in multiple body positions. So we're gonna move a little bit up on top of the dome here into a seated position. What's great about this, we're gonna use our band, but not quite yet, is that we're really bringing the floor to you or to our clients. It makes sitting up a little bit easier. And if we're sitting all the time now in front of these screens, this is a great way to kind of get some more spine mobility happening as well as some rotation. So I want you to open up your legs about shoulder distance apart. You're gonna take your arms forward and you're just gonna spine stretch forward. So you're gonna roll down, reach forward. It's like that old school PE exam that we used to have back in the day, right? And you can see that I'm bringing my toes towards my knees. If that feels good for you, great. If not, you can just relax through those ankles as well. But fun fact, getting the front of the shins engaged, or the fronts of these legs, really helps us as we age, right? With fall prevention strategies, with reaction time. Last 2, again, we're just getting some spine mobility here in a different body position. Then we're just gonna take it straight into a little bit of seated rotation. Just keep your legs exactly where they're at. Open your arms out. I like to go palms up because it gives us an open chest. Much more positive than all of the sort of forward slumping that we're doing these days. Sit up tall. And then exhale, just give me a little rotation from your spine. It's like your arms are helicopter blades, right? So I want you to really feel like you're twisting those blades because you're twisting from your middle back. That's your T-spine or your thoracic spine. And sit up as tall as you can. Almost like as if I have my hands on your ribs and I'm just lifting your rib cage up off of your waistline, right? Or there's a string on top of your head and I'm pulling you upwards. That's gonna get you really into those rotators of the spine just a little bit more. 4 more. Good, and center, and 3. Now that we're getting a little warmer out to those distal joints of the fingers, we're gonna move on to a bit more spine mobility and shoulder mobility. To do that, I'm gonna ask us to move down the dome and find our sweet spot. For some of you, it might be all the way on the floor. For some of you, it might be a little higher, and then even some of you, depending on how tall you are, could be up a little bit higher on the dome. You'll find what works for you. From here, your feet are down on the floor, the knees are bent, the arms are forward. You're gonna start an overhead reach. So shoulder mobility here, circle the arms, exhale, come forward. Again, we're working in that spine mobility here, that mobility core, and using that breath to come back forward. And inhaling as you go back, and circling, exhaling as you come forward. 2 more, and reaching, and opening, and exhale. You got 1 more, team, and then we're gonna reverse, and open and forward. Good, and reverse. So enjoy these. They might feel a little challenging, but guess what? I'm gonna up the ante here in a moment, and come around, and reach, and exhaling as you come forward. 3 more. We'll go about 5 in each direction. And 2 more. And reach. Notice where your shoulders are at, right? Our arms connect into our trunk as well. Now staying right here, all you're gonna do is bring the fingers behind the head. Inhale, rolling back. And exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Lift back up. A little bit more challenging, yes or yes. Inhaling as you go. And exhaling as you come forward. We're gonna do 1,000 of these. I'm kidding. Inhale, quality versus quantity. That's 3 for me. Let's get to 6. So 6 more. And you're not gonna be done here as well, but that's okay. You know where you're kind of going repetition-wise. You've got 1 more. Inhale. And exhale in as you come up. Stay with me. Let's go into a little bit of work here in a supine endurance position. So you're gonna come up. You're gonna bring one leg into tabletop. Take that arm that's on that same side and bring it down. From here, we're gonna do some sprinting and some leg changes, endurance at the core here. Trying to stabilize a little bit more as you exhale. Switch the legs and switch the arms. Exhale, switch the legs and switch the arms. Now, I'm gonna make a tiny micro adjustment because I'm sliding down. I wanna be a little higher on my dome. Exhale, switch, and switch, and switch. So we're sprinting, team. We're just sprinting on our backs. And switch, and switch. Good, switch. Nice, 4 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Can you hold it here? Cuddle that dome. Bring the fingers back behind the head on that opposite arm. Inhale, extend the line. What, Erika? Exhale, bring it in. Yes, you've got 4 more. We're just doing 5 from side to side. That's it. Connecting that nice diagonal line on the front line of the body. Those oblique slings. Good. Reach. Get that nice length through the elbow all the way to the toes. That's your last one. I think that was 5. So let's switch. Yes. Extend that leg out. Open up. And exhale. Come in. You can see I'm breathing pretty heavy here. And blow out, pull. I promise we're going to go into a different body part after this. You've got 2 more. Make them your best. Exhale. Pull it in. Woo! Last one here. And exhale. Great job. Bring yourself all the way up. Give yourself a moment of active recovery because we're gonna bring in the BOSU fabric resistance band. So I'm on the lightweight, as I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna step on in with both feet, bring it up onto my knee level, maybe a little bit above. You can adjust this for what works well for you or your clients, right? Bring your tush back down onto the floor. And what I wanna do here is flip the dome over. I'm gonna turn my handles so that they're facing side, just so that they're out of the way a bit. And I'm going to bring the dome base, if you will, down towards my tush. So from here, I'm in a really nice supported supine incline position. Could you add weights to your hands? Could you add a BOSU bar, a weighted bar to your hands? Absolutely. For now, I'm just gonna stick with the resistance band and I'm gonna start to play. I have a little bit of pressure outwards on my legs and I'm gonna lift up and I'm gonna lower down. Now, as I come up, I do want a bit more support for my head, so I'm gonna position myself to where I can get there. So do that for you now and try it again. So lifting up and then lowering back down. So a different way of bridging, having a little bit more feedback with the platform side of the balance trainer, and also starting to get a little bit of work through that lateral system of the leg. So those abductors are starting to wake up here. Good. Give me 4 more here. And lower. And 3. Super. Last 2. And then we're going to stay up here on this last one, holding. From here, just let me open those legs and close them a little. Open and close. Now you can absolutely do this with the dome side up as well. I'm just giving you a variation with the platform side, right? Feels different rolling. That's why we call it both sides utilized in many ways, because you can safely, in some body positions, use that platform side very nicely. 5 more. Good. And 4. Super. 3. And 2. Nice. Last one here, and then lower back down. Now, just for the sake of experiencing it with the dome up, let's turn our BOSU balance trainer back over, okay? So we're keeping this band in play. I'm just gonna change how our position of our legs are. So I want you to now make a little pizza slice with your feet. Place your toes down onto the mat or the floor. Your heels are gonna be together. You've got that band, again, right around the knee level. And make sure that your head is rested on or about the dome the top of the dome here. And I want you to make sure that you have a good bit of space from your chin to your chest, because when you lift up, you want to be in a nice supported position, not to where the chin is dropped too closely to the sternum. So just watch that. And then you're going to lower down. From here, press through those toes, lift, and then lower. So a little diamond-shaped bridge here, right? You're still getting that lower body strength and power. You're pressing into the floor, lifting up, and you're really keeping the outs of those legs, the outsides of those legs really engaged here. A great way to get lower body strength and power into your body. Good. 3 more. And 2. Good. And 1. Now hold it. Now, can you just give me a little twist over to one foot and come back? Twist over to the other foot and come back. So adding a little bit of a rotation from the spine. This is not big, team, so don't think that you need to be dropping those legs all the way over. And over and back up. And 4 and lift. And 3. I'm actively pressing into the floor with my hands. Good. Last 1. Come back center and hold. Now I want you to just open and close those legs. Open and close. Really keeping that sense of that deep connection with the glutes here. As if you had winning lottery ticket numbers in your butt cheeks. And you had to hold on to them. Nice. Good. Give me 4. I'm starting to sweat here. 3. Good. You're doing great. 2. And 1. Very nice. Lowering back down to the floor. We're going to move onto our side body. So to do that, just move your BOSU a little bit closer to you and bring your hip up onto the dome. Again, to accentuate this lateral line, I'm going to keep that band, the fabric band, engaged. I'm going to come down to my forearm. My legs are going to be nice and long, and you can see how I have some tension in the band here already. You can have your fingers behind your head for more challenge. You can have them on the front of the dome or even on the floor. Do what feels good for you as you take some side lifts with both legs. Yeah, so lower those legs down, bend from the side, come up and lower and lift. Good. So you can get a nice range of motion through this whole lateral line with this lateral flexion here. Push down into the floor with this elbow, making sure that your neck is out of the equation. You can always help that head out with your bottom hand if you need to. Good. 2 more. And lift. You got it. Last 1. And hold it. Now flex your feet. Lift higher. And 7. Ooh. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. You're doing great. And 1. We got to get to the other side. So turn onto your belly. Keep the band in play. Place your pelvis atop or near the top of the dome. Forearms are going to come down. Again, you might need to make little adjustments with regards to where your pelvis is placed depending on the length of your legs and your body. Push into the floor with those elbows. Lift the legs up. Can you get there and bend the knees into a frog? Pushing out through your knees, you're going to lower and lift. Lower and lift. Good. So you're in this little frog position. We're still connecting with the backs of the glutes and the hamstrings here. You're getting a little bit of shoulder stability by pressing into the floor with those elbows. The head is out of the equation, not in a bad way, but in a good way. You're not using your neck, and you still have your core engaged here. Now lift the legs up, reach them out, come back and lower. Lift up and reach. So we're extending the line of that frog and lower. You're going to take it up, reach out wide, bend and tap the heels and lower. Good. Lift and reach and tap and lower. You got it, team. 2 more. Up, reach it out. Woo! And bend and lower. Last 1 and reach, bend and lower. Let's turn it on to the other side. I'm sorry my back's gonna face you, but I'm gonna keep this flowing. So over onto my other hip. You guys kind of know where you're headed now with your roadmap with me, so you can set it up as well. Legs are nice and long, forearms down on the floor, you're pushing the floor away, Top arm is either on the dome, the floor, or behind the head. You choose. Lower the legs and lift them up. Remember, engaging this whole lateral line of the body is so important, you guys. Remember, we don't really engage this lateral system that much in life because we're typically walking forward or running forward or biking forward. So it's important to strengthen the sides of our body and our legs as well. 2 more. And last one, keep those legs lifted, flex your feet. 8, lift higher. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, team. From here, come on to all fours. You can keep that loop band around the legs. We'll see where we go. I'm gonna widen my knees out. So I have some tension there. And all I wanna do now is just a little bit of shoulder mobility by dropping the sternum down towards the dome and then pressing it away, right? So my spine and my trunk is staying stable while I'm doing this mobility at the shoulder level. So I'm essentially telescoping or protracting and retracting if you want to get fancy with the terminology. Good, you've got 2 more. And press. And the last one here, and press. Now do me a favor, flip your dome over again. Bring it to one end of your mat. I like to have my handles toward the outside to open up my arm base. And from here, I'm gonna step back with one leg, and I'm gonna step back with the other leg. I have that band around my legs. My shoulders are stacked nicely above my wrists. I'm watching my elbows so that I don't hyperextend. And all I'm gonna do is walk out and in, and out and in, and out. You've noticed I've led with one leg, so now I'm gonna switch my lead leg right now. Out and in, right? Nice strong plank position. Upper body stability, core stability, and a little bit of lateral system work, side body work as we're stepping out and stepping in. Now switch your lead leg and stay out there. From here, bend those knees and straighten. Bend and straighten, keeping that tension outward through the legs with that fabric band. And reach. Good, down. And press. You've got 4 more. And press. And 3. Press. You've got a team. 2. And press. Last one. Good. And press. Lower these knees down. And from here, all I want you to do, take your hands, put them on top of the platform, and just slide the platform forward and sit back into a child's pose. Now, if this doesn't feel good for you on your knees or on your hips, don't go as deep and or consider widening out the legs, right? And lower back down. Of course, you could do any of those planking types of things with the dome up as well, but it's fun to turn things upside down and change things up for our nervous system. 2 more. And come back. Good. Last one here. Nice. And come back down. Good. From here, I'm going to have you flip your dome over. One last time. Yes. You're going to keep that band around the legs. You're going to bring your heels up onto the dome. And I want them to be wider, the heels / calves. I want them to be wider than the logo because you're gonna then get some increased tension on that band again. Your hands are back behind you. Fingertips can point out. Fingertips can point towards your butt. Whatever feels good for you, you're gonna lift into a reverse plank. Up and lower back down. Good, so push the floor away and lift. And then lower. Push the floor away, lift. And lower. So you're really hip hinging as you press up, getting the whole back of the body engaged. 3 more. 3. Great way to do reverse planks. 2 with this nice comfortable dome underneath our calves and or our heels. Now from here, I want you to bend your knees, place your feet on the dome. See how this is different when you do a bit more of a tabletop plank. So come up. Yes, and lower. Again. again, you can take your head with you if you want, if that feels good. But if it doesn't, you can certainly just keep the eye gaze facing forward as well. And lift and lower. Good. And again, if your shoulders can't handle this, you can either omit this exercise, change your range of motion, meaning don't lift as high, or open up your base of support. Make your arms a little bit wider, if you will. 2 more, and lift. Good. And the last one here, and lift. Great job. And now from here, we're going to finish with a little bit of unilateral. So as you put one foot on or near the logo impression at the top of the dome, the other leg is going to lift and pull as you come into that plank, that reverse plank or reverse tabletop, if you will. And this gets really challenging because you're stretching out that band and you're really engaging that leg that's on the dome. Last one. And lift. Switch your feet. Woo! Give that leg, that hamstring, a break on the other side. From here, again, press the floor away. Shoulders are out of those ears as you come up and lower and up. Unilateral bridging can be done in a variety of different ways. It's one of the best ways to work our backside, our glutes, our hamstrings. Yes. And 4 more. You got it, team. And 3. Nice. And 2. And last 1. Fantastic job. Come on down. From here, you can go ahead and swing on around. Take that band off the legs. Set it to the side and just bring your bottom right up against the base or the rim of the dome. We're going to kind of just finish right here where you can simply take a nice rest over the dome, reaching the arms up to the ears and just seeing how that feels for you. And then softly lifting the arms back up and lifting the head and coming forward. Good, give me 2 more of these. Finishing in a lovely position where we can open the front of our body in a supported way, right? Many of us are sitting a lot more these days. And give me 2 more. And reaching, letting the whole front of the body open. You could even let your legs go long here if you wanted to. And coming back forward. And last one here. And reaching and opening, holding here. Allowing the arms to come out to the side and rest if they can make it to the floor. Taking a nice deep drink of air in here. Exhale, let it all go. And simply and slowly bring yourself up to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me for this floor-based protocol. I know you're going to love it and I know you're going to use it for time to come. My name's Erika Quest. I'll see you next time.